Hey guys, it's Charlie. Just a quick heads up, on this podcast we have real, honest conversations. And sometimes that means we touch on sensitive subjects. But this is the Overshare Club. Some of it might not be for everyone, so please take care whilst watching or listening. Now let's get into it. Hello and welcome to the Overshare Club. Today I am joined by fellow hairdresser in Leicestershire, Katie.
Hi everyone.
So thank you for agreeing to be on the podcast.
No, it's okay.
So let's get straight into it. So first question, going back to the beginning, did you always know you wanted to be a hairdresser, and how did you get into hairdressing?
I did, but probably not till I don't know, just before my teenage years. So when I was younger, I always had the ideas. I loved playing shopkeeper. I loved playing schools.
A little role play.
Yeah. I had a Wendy house when I was younger.
Wendy house.
Oh no, it brings back so many memories when you go to people's houses. You're like, oh yeah. So I used to be shopkeepers in that. I used to play mums, dads, things, and kids, and then also used to play schools.
Yeah.
So I always had them in the background, but then. I don't know, obviously I've got an older sister and my mum, so I always used to practice hair on them, straightening it, brushing it, just plaiting it. So I obviously knew I liked it then. Then when I was at high school, they did a hair and beauty course.
Yeah.
So that was included my level 1. So I went and did that, and I feel once I'd done that, I knew that's when I wanted to do hairdressing.
You got the bug for it.
Yeah,
then.
I'll be honest, I didn't enjoy beauty.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I felt I really struggled to paint my own nails, so I thought I'm just not going to be very good at painting someone else's. I was like, right, that's definitely out of it. And I just really enjoyed, even though it was a level 1 course, you still learnt the basics of the shampooing, the blow drying, styling. You still got interactive with working on dolls' heads.
Yeah.
So I obviously carried on that. That worked out as year 10 and year 11.
Yeah.
So did that. Then after that, I went and looked for apprenticeship. Mm-hmm. So obviously, it's definitely straight from school. I went into it, and I just knew then, as soon as I started it, it weren't something that I thought, oh no, I don't enjoy this. Let's stop and then go and find something else. I just carried it straight on.
Yeah, you knew from that moment.
Yeah. So I do feel it's from quite a young age, and ever since I've done it, I have just enjoyed it, and it's just pretty much got better and better, because obviously you go into different things with it, and I've then just stuck at it from a salon base, but from my apprenticeship I then went, which obviously is then classed as level 2, so did level 1 there, done level 2, then I also did a barbering course at college.
How did you find that?
Didn't enjoy that very much.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Only because it's really hard, as you might probably know, when you're trying to learn to do gents' hairs with that, you do it on a doll's head.
Yeah.
So, you obviously know doll's heads, it's a little bit easier for women's hair.
Yeah.
But it's still not the realistic of natural hair on us kind of thing. So when you're grading in and blending, the hair's just sticking out like this everywhere. And you're
this doesn't look how I want it to look.
So how can you cut it or get it to a gent's cut?
Yeah.
Obviously you did do real models in it as well, which obviously was okay, but I just didn't massively enjoy it. I think, oh no, you've got to get into it. I think then the salon that I was at back then, they did do model nights, so we'd obviously then get proper people and you'd have the trainees with you, so that made it a bit more confident and got a bit more better. But it was just not my favourite thing to do. So then after that was a year, but I'd have to go on a Monday evening. Mm-hmm. So I would still be working, and then you'd just go after your work shift back to Loughborough College for that. And then after that I did level 3, so that was 2 years? No, a year? No, I think it's a year actually, sorry, level 3. And then that was back to Loughborough College. I really enjoyed that because it's a bit more in depth. It's your bigger colour transitions and
colour corrections, that sort of thing.
Yes, and I do think you need it because you need to know the more in-depth technology of it when you're going into them scenarios of people coming in and knowing what you're doing. So that was a year, and then after that I just basically kind of just went on courses to do with the brands that we worked with.
Yeah.
And they were probably from when I was in a salon, then the salon centres on them. And then since then, as of now been obviously doing hairdressing for 14 years. On myself, I then did a hair extension course last year. And then I've not done any more since, but there's obviously other courses that I'd like to do, going down the future.
I feel with hairdressing, you're constantly learning new things.
Yeah.
There's new trends coming out, so you've got to keep up with it all. Because, I know there are some hairdressers that trained maybe 20 years ago, but haven't trained.
Yeah, they don't stick with it.
Then, and it's
But everything changes like all the time. So like if
Yeah.
you don't stick with it and then someone comes in, not that you're not going to know what to do, but there might be, I don't know, a better way for that solution. There might be a quicker way, something that like you'd probably think in an old way of doing it, where actually you're better off doing it where there's less work to do, or there's, I don't know, different scenarios of doing it. But I think you've got to keep up with it, because it's not only that, it's like the technology of the colours and like, I don't know, pre-lightener and peroxide, everything that's changed as well.
Oh, completely.
And I think, obviously, if you're in a salon, it's obviously a bit more difficult, because it's down to them to like get you into it and send you on them.
Yeah.
Obviously, being self-employed, that's down to you.
Yeah.
So I feel like you've got to then make that choice and know that that's what you want to do. But I think you do it for yourself, but you also do it for your clients.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, I mean, from a client point of view, they might come in to a salon or to a hairdresser, and they might show a picture to the hairdresser, and it might be, I don't know, a balayage lived in colour.
Yeah.
But that hairdresser may have not trained in the last few years, so they sort of see it and go, oh, I can just do it with classic highlights.
Yeah.
It's completely different, and the clients are then not going to get the result that they want.
And it's a bigger job than actually, well, it's not a bigger job, but to them then it's probably a bigger job when it is, because they've not chose the right way of doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's when sort of things could then possibly turn into like colour corrections and that sort of thing. So I definitely think that in hairdressing, especially as a self-employed hairdresser, you've got to put training at like the top of your priorities.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you don't, I just think then, like, not that you're behind, but you could be missing out on things that are important.
Yeah.
And it's not then sticking with the flow of how hairdressing's moving.
Yeah.
Like, I realise now with a lot of stuff, like, even, for example, hair up. I really enjoy doing hair up, but I don't know about you, but you might know you don't do it loads, because it's for certain periods of, like, weddings, prom hair, Christmas events, people got parties, but they're not every month, and they're more, like, certain periods of the year.
Yeah.
So I found, obviously, like, you'd do a bit at college, you do it in level 1, level 2, level 3, you'd do it like that, and then you'd get the odd bit that had come, obviously, through your hairdressing career of, like, different times you work in. But you don't necessarily, like, pick things up unless you're practicing, unless you're watching videos, unless you've seen, I don't know, people creating it. And I've definitely, like, I started doing more of it now, because I've been seeing, like, a lot better quality videos of, like, what's out there and how it's changed. And, like, some of the things I've learned from just watching content, I just can't believe how much it's changed and how different it is. But how also, I don't know how to say it. I want to say it looks easy, but it looks like more sophisticated in a way that I just think, God, I'd never think about doing it like that.
Yeah.
I'd probably make it harder for myself.
Yes.
And so obviously that's really nice to see and really interesting to see, because I just think, oh no, I've started to get into it more, and I started to do like a few models and content, because I thought, no, I really want to learn that again.
Yeah.
But do it in different ways that, like, actually is working what's doing now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd never think back. It's like, there is a couple of hair up courses I'd like to go and do. So that's something that's also on my list, as well as like some colour courses.
Yeah.
So they are like prioritised, as in like at the top, as in not whether which order, because a lot of it's more down to like the days that they're on, times that they're on, what clients got into, when you can do them. But they're definitely things that I like focus on more.
Especially if you want to, if that's something that you found that you enjoy doing as well, then I think it's always good to learn something that is on trend or whatever. Yeah. But if there's something that you want to do because you think, oh, actually, I think I might enjoy that, you don't know what way it's sort of going to take you.
I think, like, you've got to put yourself out there more with, like, what you think is good. Like, I enjoy doing the lifting colours, the balayages, and, like, the hair ups. Obviously, I enjoy doing it all, but as in, like, when you see the transitions from them, I love doing them and I enjoy doing them. But I do think, like, they're the main things that you probably want to do courses and, like, expand on knowing. Yeah. Because sometimes they're the bigger things, or what you see more of, or what people ask for more. Yeah. And it's just probably what's out there, as in a lot more on courses. Like, you obviously get your cutting courses as well, and they're always obviously changing, trending. But obviously sometimes you can get a few of them, like, in with, obviously, I don't know, colours, the odd bit, they might say, right, let's finish it off and let's do this with it. But no, like, I think they're, like, more of the bigger ones out there than, like, probably your blow drying ones. The only other blow one I think is, like, your curly blow dry.
Yes.
That's massive.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I mean, I used to do curly blow dries.
Yeah.
Not many people ask for them anymore. However, they're all coming back.
Yeah, I've noticed
especially with, like, the big sort of, like, the 90s layers and all this sort of thing. And I feel so out of touch
Yeah.
with doing a curly blow dry. I mean, obviously, years ago, the brushes are much, much better now.
Yeah, they've changed.
But when I remember when I started doing them and getting those brushes stuck.
You'd be worried, you'd be like pulling the hair and you'd be thinking to yourself like, I've got it in there, now I need to get it out. And then you're thinking, oh my God, I don't know if it's like
your heart just starts racing. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when I did someone's hair, did a curly blow dry. And you know, like the really sort of like thin round brushes.
But I think,
she wanted like tighter curls around the front, so I was like, it's fine. I'll use one of those brushes.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, when I tell you I got it stuck in her hair, it was not budging.
No.
And she was going, it's fine, just pull it. I'm going, no, because I don't want to pull your hair.
And also, you don't know
out."
like when you're pulling it, like you can obviously tell it's like got the tension of their root. So then you're thinking, oh my God, it's look great, it's going to be there, it's going to be perfect. Then you're thinking, no, this is not going to look perfect. It's going to pull your hair and it's going to look a mess. Then it looks frizzy.
Yeah,
and it doesn't actually have the curl on it.
Yeah.
But I have seen cuts of that, and that's something else that. It's not saying that you can't do it. It's just that you want like a way where you think they'll probably show you like, oh my God, I'd never think about doing it like that. Or like that is so much easier, that's so much quicker.
Yeah.
And that's another course that like I'd like to add on there as well, because I just think it's another way of learning that's like prioritising you but for your clients.
Yeah.
Because these then you'd be like to you, like someone asks you, yeah, I will do it actually because I know I can do it. Where like, you know, sometimes when you're thinking, that fear from what you've had before.
Yeah, you're like, no, I don't want to do it.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So, no, definitely, like you say, there's definitely a few things that I think are out there. And like you say, even with the blow dry one, you can do the ones where you like pin it up or people leave the brushes in. Mm-hmm. I love both of them. And like you say, with what happened before, leaving the brushes in, that's always my fear. I'm like, how do they get it when they leave the brush in and it looks perfect, they take it out? And I'm like, no, when we used to do it before, it didn't do that.
No, you just look like a frizzy mess by the time I've took it out. And
yeah, definitely, that's a big thing.
Well, I think with courses as well is that you can do, so say like blonding courses, you could do one course and you might learn something from that, but you then might do another blonding course and they do it entirely different. It's the same sort of look and outcome, but they might do something entirely different that you think, actually no, that works better for me.
Yeah, because then like you say, I do find I have been on quite a few blonding courses back in the past, and it is strange because obviously if you have just someone different do the course, they'll do one thing, they do the other. Then you're a bit like, well, I don't have to choose because you can use both and you do them what's best for you. And I do think going with different like hairstylists that are offering them is good because they all work different. So then, like you say, you'll adapt to what's best for you. And not only that, what's best for you, it's like what's best for the client.
Yeah.
So, I definitely agree with that. I think it's like with hair up as well or curly blow dry, you could go to a couple of them and it'd be exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly. Would you say there have been any struggles throughout your hairdressing journey?
Not like massive like struggles like within the whole lot. Mm-hmm. When obviously I first started in college, you obviously not my level 2 but level 3 you had to have like I think it was like a level 2 maths or something like that, and you have to have, so I didn't have that, I had the one, so I had to level 2 maths, which didn't keep me part of my hairdressing, but I had to complete that before I complete hairdressing. And obviously when you don't enjoy something like maths, obviously it's very frustrating. So it didn't struggle me for hairdressing, but it just, I felt like I had another thing of like, I had to concentrate on.
There was another thing on your shoulder.
Yeah, doing that. So obviously that was back then, so obviously that had gone. So the only thing I'd probably say is like, it's not a struggle, but when you're starting out, like back from when you're younger, you're building that clientele. Mm-hmm. So yes, you could start as apprentice, but then when you're qualified, you are starting out as obviously like a young stylist. So it's that, obviously a building up of clients, getting clients to come back to you. You can obviously think, oh God, is it going to get there? Like, is it going to take long? Like, how's it going to go? And you can feel a bit like defeated because you just think, oh, I'm only doing like one client here and one client there. And then you're like probably still doing apprenticeship work. Yeah. Which is fine. You have to start somewhere. Everyone does in any job and have to learn. And I'd probably just say sometimes that can like just make you feel like you're going to get there, but like in a longer way. Yeah. But I wouldn't say like massive struggles with like doing anything or the whole process of hairdressing. Them things I'd probably just say are probably mainly like key starters anyway. Yeah. But I'd probably say the only other thing is then it's like the change in clients depending like obviously what you look for, what you're doing. Yeah. If you want certain things or certain not. But I've generally just had my like hairdressing career open to anything. Yeah. Just because I enjoy it all. Like I know you'll get some that just do like blonde specialty and extensions or balayage. Absolutely fine, because obviously people enjoy certain stuff. But I've kind of liked it doing everything because I think it means then you've got a wider variety of different things. Yes.
Yes.
and you can have one variety of different clients, and it just means then you can cater for, I don't know, someone having red, someone having blonde, someone just having a haircut.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
nice to get them relationships when it's like that.
Yeah, and I think also, I mean, I wouldn't say like I specialise in anything. Like I say, I'm sort of like a hair extensions specialist, but that doesn't mean I just concentrate on hair extensions. I like doing the whole lot of things. And sometimes, obviously, it's always nice to have these big transformations.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just want a box standard, just
something.
routine or something. Not that it's box standard, but you know, just those 2-hour appointments.
And you see it and you're like, oh, them grey roots are gone. And
Exactly. Sometimes that's all people want. They're like, oh, I'm not bothered about all this like blonding or whatever. Like, just I want red hair, but can you cover the greys?
And I think they're still just as good because you still see the before and after from it, and it still gives an amazing result.
Yeah.
And I just think no matter what, it's the fact of sticking with what you know and what you do and what the client's happy with as well.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
I completely agree. So is there anything that you've been doing recently in hairdressing, or had anything sort of like, where are you at the moment?
Yeah, so at the moment, I basically now I'm self-employed.
Yeah, welcome to the self-employed club.
I'm so glad to join it. It took a long time coming. I was employed at a salon for 10 years, which obviously was fine and everything. But then I'd probably say, so I went self-employed September last year, and I'd probably say I've thought about it like 2 years before that. As you probably know yourself, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
So
taking that leap.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the worst. Not the worst, I don't want to say worst, but that's such a big thing in it that you have to like cater into when you're like
Would you say the scare was more trying to get the clients, or was it going from, I know what I'm going to be paid at the end of each month, to I've got absolutely no idea? Because for me, it was a money thing.
Yeah, I think it's more the money thing. Like, obviously, you've got a house to pay for, have a car to pay for. Like, you want a life still. You don't want to just be working.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing, because you do know what you're getting. And obviously, on the other side, you're self-employed, you don't know. You can have a quiet month, you can have a busy month, you can have a moderate month. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got holidays booked, you get ill. So it is completely different. And I knew I had to take all that into consideration because it's what comes with it.
Yeah.
And I obviously had done, because I've been thinking about it for a while. But the leap for me was the biggest thing. It just took me, I didn't say it take me 2 years, but obviously like it's finding the right time as well.
Yeah, and it's putting things into place that you know you can take that leap, and you sort of know that, no, I'm going to be all right with this.
Yeah, and I think you've got to tell yourself that. Yes. Because if you don't, other people can, which is fine, but like, you're still not in my shoes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it did take a long time coming, and I just think, even though, like I said, I thought about it 2 years ago, when it was 2 years, it wasn't like things, I wouldn't say like things were holding me back. I just think, I just don't know. So you don't know, like, obviously you don't know what's going to be ready for you. So I finally did it in September, and like I say, there was always the worry of like not knowing who, even though I'd been at that place for 10 years, you can't make people follow you. You can't force people to follow you. Yeah. You can't even do anything really to like speak to people. So it's the biggest thing of, right, I've just got to do it and hope for the best. And obviously that was always like a scare factor in it as well. But I'll be honest, I look back now and I'm so glad I did it.
Oh, good.
It's like, I just think, I don't like people say, I wish I did it sooner. You can always wish you did things sooner.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing with life, really. But yes, I could have, but then I just think you are always gaining knowledge and gaining like different clients every day. So then I think, had them extra 2 years of like gaining more knowledge, or like, I don't know, getting a bit more independent. Because where I was in the end, from like, I'd say from them 2 years to when I left, it was just me and the owner.
Yeah.
So I did have a bit more independent, and I was relied on more. So I do feel like it was kind of like I was running a bit of a salon as well anyway.
Yeah.
So it was a completely different stage where I was at then. But like I say, now the biggest thing is obviously going self-employed, and it's been 6 months now. I don't know where that 6 months gone. Yes, it's going really well. I don't know where the time's gone. It's just flew by.
Time flies when you're having fun.
And I think that's so true, especially now. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm so glad I've done it, and like, I don't look back. And like I say, we're saying doing it sooner. It's hard to say. It's one of them things. I'm glad it's happened now. If it happened sooner, then yeah, it would have been great. But obviously, I'm not looking back thinking, well, like, I wish I kept it on longer. I'm glad I've done it now. So I'm doing obviously like part work, as in like I do at the moment, part mobile and part in a salon. And yeah, I enjoy it. You've just got so much more freedom, flexibility. You can work your own book and you just do your own times and your own hours. But it's not the fact that, like, when people say that, I think some people are like, oh, it's not the fact that I wanted to, like, oh yeah, I want more time to do stuff. No, I just wanted to probably, like, look after my book a bit more and obviously, like, book the availability out. Because beforehand, I was working over 40 hours a week. You get the same Wednesday and Sunday off I did. And I was like, what? You just found that thing of, like, what can you really... You can only stick to certain things. Like, friends aren't free, family aren't free. Like, now a little bit, I could just be like, right, okay, I've got a gap there. I'll fit in, I don't know, going to the gym on that time, or I'll meet a friend there. And you work your week different to how it was back then. I think that is the biggest thing. And it's like, the thing is now, like, I'll probably work harder more than anything. Yeah. As much as I do when I was employed, but you know, you're working for yourself. So, I don't know, like on Saturdays in the salon, I'd probably finish between 3 and... I meant to finish at 3, but it's like between 3 and 20 past by the time you're tied up. Yeah. Well, now some Saturdays, I'm at the salon like at 5, 4:30, 6. Yeah. But you don't mind it. I'll start at 10 or I might start at 8. But it's what's comfortable with you and what you want to do. But I don't mind offering that to my clients. I love it because I know it's like, it's for them, but it's for me as well. Yeah. So you have that balance of both.
Exactly. I mean, it's like someone said to me the other day, because I used to work every Saturday. Yeah. Without fail. I mean, I've got a husband and 2 kids, so not having those weekends free, it was a bit of a ball ache. Yeah. It's like, okay, I've not got time.
Takes its toll in the end.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking, hang on, I'm working for myself. Yeah. I can choose if I want to work those Saturdays or not. So I still work Saturdays, but I make sure to have 1 Saturday off a month. Yeah. Sometimes I'll have 2 if I've made plans, like family plans or plans with friends. Then I'll have 2 Saturdays off. Because I make the rules for myself.
Yeah, and I think like you then probably think, well, actually, no, I'm accommodating for my clients, but you're also accommodating like to your family as well, and you're doing it for you. So I think it's sometimes the nicest way to look at it, that you're doing best for both you and your clients. Yeah. So then you know that like both of, not say please, but you think, right, okay, I had that Saturday off, I don't mind working the next one.
Yeah, but I think that's sort of where hairdressers can fall into we are people pleasers.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, definitely.
We are people pleasers.
You don't, like, as much as you don't really want to say no, and I don't feel like you do.
You try to put boundaries in for yourself, but they end up walking out the door sometimes.
You don't really say no a lot, but like you say, it's the boundaries, and it's just like, oh, I thought I weren't doing that. But here I am doing it now.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that probably does. I want to say it happens a lot, but you probably do definitely. I think we all do it. Yeah. At some point, whether it's monthly, yearly, weekly, however often, but it's definitely a thing that happens.
Yeah. So it's like on Saturdays now, I will do either 1 long client. Yeah. Start in the morning, finish the afternoon, or I'll do 2 short clients. But I won't really work past 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't.
Because it's like, I put a story up the other day because someone said to me like, oh, why don't you do late appointments on a Saturday? And I'm like, because I want to enjoy my weekend just as much as you do. Yeah, like, that's when my family are off. Yeah. So I want to be with my family.
And they're probably thinking, like, when's Mummy going to be finished work? Like, when's she going to be here? Yeah. And I do think then it's like, I know some people don't mind it, and obviously it works for the people and people ask for it, and I think the problem is you accommodate as much as you can. Yeah. But also like, you want it back the same way. Yes. So I do think like you do have to be a bit selfish sometimes and put yourself first. Yeah. And that's how it is, because like, even like say if we were making appointments, we'd be like, right, well I want to ask them this because this is what works best for me and this is what suits me best. So that's what it'd be like when it comes to the other way round.
Yeah, well it's like I had a client that I do her every 4 weeks without fail. But there was this 1 week and her appointment was going to land on Easter Friday. Yes. And I was about to just put it in my diary, just put it down as Easter Friday. She went, no, that's Easter Friday. I was like, no, that's all right. She went, no. She said, no, you have that day off. She was like, you have that day. You have that full Easter weekend. Yeah. So it's nice that clients also think about you as well.
I know, because it's like you say, people always do it like, I've got a Saturday coming up where... so we're all going on holiday, but I'm starting a little bit later, so I don't mind working later. And she usually comes a bit earlier than what that time is available. And so I offered it to her, and she was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, it's fine. She goes, yeah, you're sure? Because you're going to finish late. I went, it's fine. I said, I don't mind working late. It is what it is. Like, do you know what I mean? You do it because, like you say, you put them first, and you want to accommodate them. So I'm just thinking, no, come in then. Like, I'm happy to do it. And it is nice, like you say, they're reassured, like, are you sure you don't mind doing it? And like, obviously for us, like you say, if we really couldn't do it, you'd say no.
Yeah.
But as much as like a lot of the time, I would rather accommodate for them than like myself, because like you say, more of the majority of the time you can do that than not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. I would say it's one of the biggest things in self-employment is accommodating for both, but putting your clients first, and obviously having that flexibility of doing it.
Yeah, but again, I think as well, that's where you're sort of like, you're building your relationship with clients as well, because there will be I mean, you see all these videos all the time that are kind of like, oh, so I work, I don't know, Tuesday to Saturday, and the client will be like, have you got anything on Monday?
No, it's for one day off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you do get people like that.
Yeah, or the other one is like on a Sunday. Yeah, okay, you don't mind. Say if you had like 2 days off of the week, or I don't know, whatever. And sometimes you might do it, but I'm just a bit like, oh, it's not really a day of work. And obviously, if you wanted to choose it, you would. But kind of like always like to try and keep the Sunday off as day of rest.
Yeah, same.
It is one of the things. It just makes you laugh, because then you're just like, well, actually, I could do that. Like, I don't mind doing that. And you will swap things around. You will change things around, and you'll probably do what you think's okay, and actually it will work out.
Yeah, but it's got to be your decision, not feel as if you're like
pushed
forced
into
that decision.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, I still do weddings. As of next year, I'm not doing them.
Oh, right, okay.
But that's the one day that I will work on Sundays is to do bridal hair.
Yeah.
But again, that's my choice.
Yeah.
I don't do bridal hair all the time.
No.
So if it does come on a Sunday, I just think, all right then.
Free then, you've not got anything on.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a big thing, because it does, like you say, it takes up quite a few hours, and it's then like, oh, where are you going to be, what are you going to do? And then you've got to think, it's just a thing of like, can you do something after or not? But I think it's the feeling of bridal hair, and when you're seeing it, you've done it, and you're like, oh my God, I've got that person ready for her wedding, and I don't know, then you see the photos after, or even as the bridesmaid, you've got them ready, you're just like, oh, I feel really proud of that.
Yeah, like, it's like a nice sort of, majority of the time, it's a nice experience to think that I've been a part of someone's wedding, like, I made them look like that.
You just think like, I'm included in that little like tribe that's going on there. It's good.
So, have you got any sort of like your proudest achievements? Could be hair related or not hair related.
So definitely. So one that's not hair related is obviously getting our house. We've been in that like 6 years at the end of November. That's just a personal thing. So obviously it's not always an easy thing to do.
Nope, not especially in today's
about to say,
climate.
This day and age, definitely not.
Yes.
But that's definitely like something I'm really like obviously proud of, because you never know when you're going to be able to do that, or like if you can or anything. And it was around COVID time, so obviously things were quite high then. So I'm really like proud and pleased about that. And then my other one, like obviously hairdresser related, is obviously like qualifying all the hair levels you can get up to. I think the next one after level 3 is like management, isn't it, or something? Or training, I don't know.
Maybe.
There wasn't another one when I was there after level 3.
Yeah.
They said it was management. So
I think it might be salon management.
Yeah, and I was a bit like, I don't really feel like I'm quite ready for that, so I didn't go to that. But obviously I'm proud for like obviously qualifying all them, having all that. But obviously my most one at the moment is going self-employed.
Yeah.
Just because it is such a big thing. Some people it might not be, but like all I've ever known before that is employment. And
it's a huge change.
It is, and I'm such a like safe person, routine person, and I find I'm probably not a very good person at change. Mm-hmm. Obviously, as I've gone self-employed, I am finding I am getting better.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes you don't have no choice, but you just do it. So I definitely feel like that's a big thing, because it was a big thing when I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's still a big thing. And like if someone came and said to me now, like, and asked me about it, I would definitely say go for it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's times and periods of like where you are in your hairdressing journey of when to go for it, but that decision's got to be down to that person anyway. But even if you like gave a bit of advice and like obviously a bit of tips and stuff with it, it's more a case of like I'd say you just want to make sure like that you're settled in where you are, like whether it's home, you've got your own home, still living at home, what you like say your outgoings are, what you do day-to-day life, and also then your clientele within the work.
Yeah.
But they're like I'd say like proudest achievements that I'd definitely like take forward. And even like when I've been doing self-employment for like so many years, I think I'd always go back to say that like that's such a big thing, because like you'll probably not know when you when you did it, from when like you left and everything, from what you was doing, that it's still a big thing, because you look back and think, right, I've been doing it, I don't know, like 6 years, 5 years, and I'm still able to do it now when you've been doing it that long. And I think that's still then the case of when you can say, yeah, I've been self-employed for like 5 years, and because sometimes it doesn't work out or people can't do it because all the things changing. No, so yeah, it's definitely a big thing for me.
Oh, good. So, I mean, we've just spoken a little bit about this, but how do you balance working and home life? Like, putting those boundaries in.
So I'm quite an organised person.
That's a good thing to be a freelance hairdresser as well, being organised.
I like to be, because I feel a bit out of place if I'm not. So I have like, obviously I put a lot on my like phone calendar because that's what I use, but I also then have like a diary calendar. We've also got a calendar on home, and we've probably got a shared calendar. So there's a lot of
calendars going on. Everyone should know their place and what's happening.
So I feel like it's one of the things where, weirdly enough though, that joint calendar, I only realised that about a couple of months ago. And I was like, why have I never known this before? But I don't really know why. I just put stuff in my own calendar.
See, I did this. I set this up for me and my husband, because I would put things in place. Like, say I was doing a wedding or something, and I'd be like, well, you didn't tell me about that. I'm like, yes, I did.
Yeah.
I've put it in the shared calendar. You know, the shared calendar that you never look at. We've got a paper calendar hanging up on the wall. There's nothing on it. There's nothing written on it. And I'm just like, I have told you. Like, I've texted you. Can I do this date because of blah blah blah? Yeah.
Are you free to look at?
Yeah, and it'll get to it, and he'll be like, well, you never told me about that.
No, I know.
Yes, I did.
I think it's some things where it's like you have to have them, because not saying, but they don't really look at them, and I'm like, and I'll put it on the paper calendar and I'll put it in the joint one. I'm like, it's on both. It's been on there for about 4 weeks, and I'm like, that's not my fault.
Yeah.
So no, I do have to be like that, because I just feel like I don't really know where I am, and it's like, obviously I have my nails done or like my eyebrows. I have to make sure they're in like both calendars, because it's then like when I'm booking people in, I need to know what I'm doing.
Important appointments.
This needs to be done. So I do say that a lot, and then it's just like with like, I don't know, like dinners and things. If I'm working late, sometimes I'll be like, right, I'll prepare it in the morning, or like I do something in the slow cooker, or I'll be like, oh, I'm not back like early, so you sort yourself out. And it's just like, since I first started self-employed, I didn't really give myself a day off. I did Sunday, but not in the week. What I do is I offer like mobile the 3 days at the beginning of the week, and then like in the salon the other 3. So if I was to have a day off, it'd be like a mobile day. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, I don't know about you, when you're obviously first when you get a bit excited and you're just like, yep. Put that in, you know what I'm saying, don't they? You just go thinking. Then like, I was feeling a little bit like I wasn't really getting anything done. Like, not something like I wasn't really having much time to clean the house, or like have time to myself, or I don't know, I wasn't really doing the things then that I would have usually done on a day off.
Yeah.
But when I was employed, I found what I'd do, because I'd only have Wednesday and Sunday, I'd cram everything into a Wednesday, but then I'd be knackered because like I've just done too much.
Yeah.
So nowadays, like, I'll just be honest, I find every week different. Mm-hmm. Some weeks I'll have 1 day off in the week, sometimes I've had 2, or some I've had none. So depending how my days are about, I might have the morning off, I might have an afternoon off, I might have the whole day off, or if I don't have any, I just pick up where I'm at.
Yeah.
But I know what I'm doing, like, because I've got it in my calendar in my book.
Yeah.
So I just I check that. Not that I check it all the time, every day, but I do keep checking to make sure, right, this is it. Or like, if someone messages me, I don't like to get back to them until I've checked my work diary to be like, yeah, I can definitely do this. So I do find it's been a lot of change. Mm-hmm. I'm a bit of a routine person.
Yeah.
So when it went from like employed where like, I don't know, 3 days of the week or whatever, had to be at work for like 8:45, mm-hmm. and then 2 days later, now every day's a bit different. I'm like, oh, this is weird. My alarm's set at different times. Like, I'm not used to getting up at like, I don't know, 7 o'clock that morning, 8 o'clock that morning, and I'm like, I can't get used to this. So that is a big change that I've probably struggled with, is routine in the morning.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say like I enjoy it, but it's the adaptations. Like last week, I worked 3 late nights. Mm-hmm. This week, I've not got any. So it's a massive change in that, and routine's a massive thing. I used to do like a late night every Thursday. Mm-hmm. Yep, it was fine because you'd know when you're doing it. Obviously, on the downside then is if there was anything on a Thursday night, I'd always miss it.
Yeah.
So I do like the flexibility that I don't have to do it every week. But then like, if someone wants it, I'm not afraid to say no. Like, you book it and you go around it. Like last week doing 3 late nights is what it is.
Yeah.
And you adapt to it on like another week. So yeah, I do feel like I balance it quite well. There has been a lot of changes. It does feel very different. Sometimes my partner comes back and he's like, oh, you're home already? And I'm like, yeah, I'm home already. And then sometimes it's like, God, how late are you going to be tonight? It's just one of the things, isn't it? And I'm like, sometimes you just can't predict how your day's going to go.
My husband will always say to me, what time are you finishing?
add on half an hour, I say.
How long's a piece of string? Like, I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, sometimes, because I am quite a chatty person,
It's like
I've got
me.
quite a lot of chatty clients. Like, what is meant to
Yeah.
be a 2-hour appointment
be
might turn
longer.
into like 3 hours
Yeah.
because we're literally just and my husband will be like, God, I could hear you all laughing. And I've got some clients, I mean, sometimes I forget to shut the blind in the evening.
Oh, good.
And some of my clients, there's a woman over the road that does dog sitting, so all my clients take their dogs there.
Oh, that's
And
so handy.
It
That's
is.
so good.
And she came down in a car the other day, and when she came in for her appointment, she said, I could see you and your other client, she said, and you were laughing your heads off. She said, you weren't doing hair at the time, you were just full on, like, bent
We stopped
over,
doing hair
laughing.
then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
But yeah, it's...
I do think though, like I sometimes say, because I'm like, oh, I'll be back for this time. And then, I don't know, you feel like you judge it, and then after you misjudge it, you're like, I don't know what went wrong there.
I
But
misjudge it all the time.
Yeah, and I'm just like, to him, sometimes I say now, like, I think maybe just add like 15 to 20 minutes on maybe, I said, because if I'm at the salon, well, even if I say the salon, if I'm at the salon, I still then got to drive home.
Yeah.
So then, I sometimes probably think, I'm like, yeah, get home that time, that's fine. And I'm like, I don't know what happened to that. But
Yeah.
it is what it is, and like, not saying but I feel like he's probably had to adapt to it as well, because I'm there and sometimes I'm not, and then sometimes I'm back later more often than how it is. But no, I definitely feel it was a bit of like, I won't say tough is the word, but it was definitely a change at the start.
Yeah.
I've definitely adapted to it, but I still feel like you might, I don't know if you might have to set times where I don't really have set times at the moment. I think some mobile and in the salon, and I just work from what my first client books into like when it is finished.
Yeah.
Obviously, I probably might change that as time goes along. So I do feel like I can't be like, oh, well, these days I start at this time and these days I start there. So like, I do feel like you adapt as time goes on and you fit your life into around what work is.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some things like, one thing that I do really enjoy is like fitness classes. And where I go, like, she just releases a month at a time. So what I will do is when they're released, I obviously might already have clients in. So like for May's month, I've already got clients in. So then I will book them classes around what I've got in. And then when they're booked in, I then book my work around that.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because that's something that I enjoy doing. And like, I don't want to like give up.
You don't want to give it up.
doing
No,
that.
no.
So obviously, because like she's really popular and she's really like busy, I have to make sure I get in first with the long thing, like get booked on. So like, for example, I did that yesterday, so they're in now, and but this is the thing, I have to make sure they're on my work calendar and on my diary, because I'm like, sometimes if I don't put them in, I'm like, oh my gosh, will I book a class then or not? So you just have to worry and check then. So yeah, I do make sure that's just one thing where like other things, I don't know, sometimes I then work around work where it's like, I don't know, shopping and things like that, it just fits in when I can do it.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't know, going out with a friend or something, I'd then say like, well, I'm free, but it sounds like a bit now, I always say to my friends, right, I could do this, but if a client books in, then I'll have to change it, just because I'd prioritise the client, because at the end of the day, like, I want them to, like, obviously I'm putting them first, and then like my time can come after, or if it's a day that I've given myself off, then yeah, fair enough, I'll do it all then for me on that day.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think, generally, all in all, it is like coming more of a different routine that I'm getting used to. It is a big thing when you've been employed and you've been on set hours for so many years, and like you've been doing the same days off, where like now days off can change, so it's completely different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's adaptation, and I do feel like I balance it quite well. I'd like to say that I'm not like all over the place where like, oh, I don't know what's happening there, I don't know what's happening there. I couldn't be like that.
No,
It's not me.
No, I couldn't be like that. My calendar is like
Spot on.
I lost my calendar. But like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my
Someone tell
life?
me where it is. Yeah. No.
Okay, so let's talk about your clients then. How would you best describe your types of clients?
I'd say like we're quite chatty. We all like say one pretty much likes a conversation. We all get in depth. I feel like if I've got like two in at a time, say like in the salon, if I do a colour, I can do a couple or another colour in between. So
you don't do one-to-one.
No,
in the
if I do
salon?
sometimes, yeah. But say if like, I don't know, I've got a gap and someone says like, oh, can you do then I will offer it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just a case of one-to-one, because it's, I don't know how that client wants it, or there's no one in that gap. So it just depends how it is. But say if it is like that, we are all like, everyone's very friendly. Not sometimes, but say if you talk about something, someone will be like, oh, I heard that, or anything. And we're all joining conversations and that, you make friendships. And someone will be like, oh yeah, and then they'll give them advice or something, or like, oh, I definitely recommend this. And it's really nice to feel like it's like a safe knit community of like where everyone's talking, everyone gets along, or you'll come in into the salon and be like, they'll see someone they know, and they're like, I've not seen you in years.
Yeah.
And it's really like a nice, happy place to be. And I feel that like I feel comfortable and I feel like safe with my clients, and I hope like obviously they feel the same back. But I do feel like we're at a very like, you obviously mostly feel like when you go to a hairdresser you're going to be chatty, but you know when you're chatty, you can have a laugh. Can be some of us, not all of us, are very like open, can overshare. Some don't want to share as much, and that's how it is.
Completely fine, yeah.
And I feel like that's like you as a hairdresser as well, depends how you are to how they are with you.
Yeah, I think it's like finding your vibe.
Yeah.
Vibe of clients.
And I think it's the balance as well, isn't it? The conversation with it.
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly. So in terms of like an atmosphere with your clients, obviously you said like some of them are like really chatty and that sort of thing. Do you ever find that if there is a client that is a bit more sort of like an oversharer, in terms of whether it might be like a funny overshare or more of a personal one, you've got like a safe space?
Yeah, because I think sometimes if you know that that person's an oversharer, or you know if you've got someone that isn't, I kind of like to make sure they've got one-on-one. Yeah. Just so that then it's like, but like to make them feel comfortable and that they like don't feel like everyone else is hearing their conversation. Or sometimes if they're oversharing in a funny way, you could tell them, oh, I might know there's someone that they're not bothered if other people hear it, or they'll have someone people join in and then have a conversation. Yeah. So the atmosphere I feel like is like calm. It was always calming, but always relaxed, where like people know they can either talk like more than they want to, or don't talk as much.
Do you find there's a difference between mobile clients and the in-salon clients? Like, do the home ones feel they can be not more themselves, but because they're in the comfort of their own home?
Some of them, yes, but then some of them, because I've been doing them for a long time, no, they just still be as they are and still share stuff. So you might find the ones that like probably because at the salon before that have like now asked to do mobile, they probably share a bit different. I don't know, different things, or they share in a different way. Yeah. So I'd probably find that the most, but no, some of them would still be just as they are. And like I say, some just kind of think, because like, if you've built that relationship with them and that friendship, some of them just don't mind. Like they know they can trust you and talk to you in that way. They will just speak how it is and how they are. So I am lucky with that. And I do find that that's quite nice to know. And I've never had anywhere they're like too scared to say anything, or like, oh, can I pull you to the side, which I think is a nice thing. You want them to be able to like talk to you in the mirror and talk to you one-on-one, or even if it's like at the basin, or do you know what I mean, a different situation. And even like at the house, if they've been like that, I've never had any of them say like after like, oh, I couldn't tell you at the salon before, but now I'm going to tell you that. So I do feel like that makes you feel like in a proud way, in a pleased way, because then you're doing the right job for them. So I'm happy with how it is, because there's never anything a way of looking bad or looking back, but you just know that then people are comfortable with you because they're still coming and still talking to you. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's in sort of like a benefit to you as well, is because you do offer sort of like the salon or the mobile, then clients can choose which they want to have. Yeah, and that's what I say to them. I say like, sometimes like, oh, what's better for you? It's like, don't make no difference. Like, I'm going to offer both. So you choose like what's more comfortable for you and what you prefer. Because I would, like I say to them, I'd rather you be happy with what you want, as in coming to the salon, going mobile, than me be like, oh no, you need to do this. No, because I would work around it. I'd travel to the salon, I'd travel to mobile. So it's nice that they can pick, obviously, what to do, what they feel comfortable with. And I feel like it's quite surprising, obviously, like when before I was obviously at the salon all the time, how many have chose to have mobile, because you don't know that. Because obviously before, the only choice they have is a salon. So it's interesting to think, oh, okay, they actually don't mind it doing there, like, or they're happy with that. So I think sometimes people are probably a bit more flexible. Yes. And they think, well, obviously I can do this, I can't do that day or that, so they just work around it as well. Yeah. But it is nice to have the best of both and the both options. And it's nice then my clients have to choose them. Yeah, okay. So is there a conversation that you feel that comes up a lot amongst you and your clients? There's a couple of conversations. I always tend to get a lot of people always mention like, oh, my hair always lasts better when like you've washed it. What do you use on it? That is always a big one. And I'll be honest, like I obviously always just give them the advice of like what to do, what I've used on it, what's best to use on their hair. Obviously, another one is about products. People always will ask what's best to have on the hair, what not to use. And I feel like some of the time, obviously, you can give your advice, and it's down to the client whether they take it or not.
Yeah.
But I do always think, like, majority of people, if they're looking after the hair and they want the hair to be what they want, as in with care-wise, healthy, and obviously for something for them to look after, as in realistic style-wise, then you find most people do listen and obviously will go out the way. And obviously, I don't know what's the right thing like to say with... Basically, like, you know, if you're spending that amount of money on your hair with, like, Coney, you want to spend the amount of money on the right products.
Yeah.
But no, another one, obviously, like, you tend to find someone like, oh, my hair gets greasy quick, or like, why does my hair get greasy? Like, or if you wash it, it lasts longer.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I do think it's I do like with myself, when someone else has washed your hair and done it, it always lasts so much longer than when you do it yourself. Yeah. I don't know if that's just like a myth, because I even find it as a hairdresser, it's like that. But I do find it's nice that clients do come to ask you and want your advice and want to know the knowledge that you've got.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to go out there now and like, I don't know, Google, ChatGPT. Which, yeah, great, but actually you'd rather them come and ask you and obviously see what you've got to say and also what's best from you, because at the end of the day, you're the one doing the hair. ChatGPT ain't doing your hair.
No.
You could describe your hair, but God knows what that might tell you. It might tell you to use something good still, but you just don't know.
Yeah.
But no, I do find a lot of them things come up. A lot of people obviously do talk to you about grey hair, obviously with the roots. There's a lot of talk about grey blending now.
Yeah.
That's a massive thing, which is fine, is great. It never used to be a thing back in the day. So I feel like nowadays it's more of an in thing.
Yeah.
You've obviously got the generation of trying to have the hair colour but keep healthy hair, which I think is such a good thing as well, because, I don't know, healthy hair has always been a thing, but I feel like it's got bigger and better now than what it would have been years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it has.
Years ago, people were using 9% on like bleach, and it's like,
you don't really want to do that much now. And what's the other one that people used to have, like sunning or something?
Yes, sunning. Yeah, you'd spray it onto your hair, it would like lighten the hair or something.
Like, I don't feel like ever people really got the true like information on that and how bad it was for your hair.
Yeah.
And it's doing like sometimes now it's like all the box dyes and like the bleaching yourself. Okay, yeah, people will still do it, but like back then it was such a big thing where I think it's quite nice now that people like to probably invest a bit more and actually, I don't know, speak to a hairdresser and get like the knowledge and the information and see what's going on and like how the best is to like obviously get the result of what they want.
Yeah.
So I do feel like that's changed. Obviously I feel like colouring is maybe starting younger now.
Yes.
Probably down to like TikTok and Instagram.
Yep.
Not always a great thing.
No.
Like I always say, and I feel like it's true probably from like years ago, once you start, you started. That's it. You're never really going to go back, are you?
Yeah.
So I always remember saying that, like when my sister was like younger. She's older than me, but when she was younger, like my mum always used to say, you know, once you start colouring that, you're not going to go back to doing it. And yeah, she's still colouring it now.
Yeah, yeah.
So no, yeah, I do find that comes up a lot, and obviously, especially like you'll probably know if you've got clients that have got children, like obviously girls that are like probably like your teenage years, asking about it, looking into it, and it is always one of them things because you want to educate them because there's a lot to it and there's a lot behind it, where if they just see videos, photos, they don't know everything else that's gone behind that, or it's more about what's going on like inside them and everything, as in they were young.
Yeah.
You don't want to start damaging it. You're putting like chemicals into your hair, and it's very difficult because I understand the parents have then got a teenager on the back about getting their hair done.
Yes.
I don't know if you find any of that with like...
Well, I actually had a client the other day who also has a buzz cut.
Right,
but she wants to have it dyed blonde. She doesn't live near here.
Yeah.
But yeah, she wants to dye it blonde. Obviously, she had seen that I'd done my video and like dyed my blonde. Really, but she was like, "Oh, I want to dye mine blonde. What products should I get?"
Oh no.
And I said, "I'm going to be honest with you. Go to a hairdresser." And she was like, "Oh, okay. Why?" And I said, bleach is a chemical, and what you're mixing it with is a chemical. If you don't know what you're doing with it, you could get yourself into a bit of a sticky situation.
You doing it right, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So unless you are qualified and know your knowledge about what you're actually going to be putting onto your hair, don't use it.
No.
Because you could end up frying your hair off, giving yourself burns. It's just not worth the risk.
You don't know what's in them. It's like with like box colours when people put them on, they're just putting it on, but they don't know actually what's in that.
Yeah.
So not sound awful, like if we're then working on that hair after you've done like a box colour bleach, we don't know what we're working with.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously like there's strand tests and things to be done, but and also I just think that could have been mixed with anything. So no, I completely understand that, because I know like she's probably thinking, oh, I've got a buzz cut now, just do it. But it's I wouldn't.
I mean, I don't know whether she was expecting me to tell her like what I used on my hair. Like, go on about it. No.
I'd rather not, because even though I'm telling you to use to be professional, you still don't want them to do it, do you?
Yeah, I mean, there's been times when I've done my own hair, like when I used to have it longer, and I know the chemicals I'm working with and the brands I'm using or whatever. I've still made my hair go wrong. I've turned it green 20 minutes before a school run before.
Oh, God, you're thinking, right, to sort that out.
Oh, God, literally, it was... So I had brown hair, but it had been dyed brown.
Yeah.
I just wanted a couple of little highlights throughout the front.
It carries a pigmentation, doesn't it?
So I thought, right, okay. But the brown had grown out a bit. So I'd put these blonde highlights through, just a few, just a couple. Put them through, rinse them off, and like the mids to ends were like orange, because obviously that's where the hair dye was.
It held like more warmth.
But on the virgin hair, it was like a light yellow. So I was like, right, okay then. I've got a bit of blue shampoo upstairs. I'll just stick a bit of that on just to pre-tone it before I put the toner on.
Oh, God.
Well, obviously I put it onto the orange, but I also put it
happen.
onto the yellow. So when I washed it out, I had green at the top.
What was on it?
And like a murky sort of neutral. So it worked on the orange bit,
but not the rest.
But yeah, it was like green.
Oh, God.
So
like say any like depending if like they do a toner or anything on their hair after, because obviously like you say some like you might not want to, but you might do. How are they then going to know what toner to put on it after? Because it's then like getting the right thing. You don't know how it's going to grab, and obviously when it's like straight on bleach like that, it's probably one of the worst ways of doing it yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously I understand a lot of people would probably just like a retouch up with anything. Okay, that's fine, but I still wouldn't be like, yeah, go and get that box colour. No, do not just go and get box colours.
Yeah.
So it is very difficult, because like you say, you have them conversations, but it's not down to them. Well, it's not down to us if they listen or not, is it?
No. But I also think that I completely understand that everyone has different budgets. Some people can't afford to go to the hairdressers. Obviously, hairdressing, it's not as cheap as it used to be.
No, God, no, it's completely changed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And not everyone can afford to go to the hairdresser, so they do go to box colour, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I think there just needs to be a bit more out there about... Okay, if you want to use box colour, it's available on the shelves, so it's obviously legal or whatever. Yeah. But it's then educating people that when they then come into the salon and they go, right, okay, I've used this dark brown box dye, blah, 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 I want to be bright blonde now.
And I think it's like you say, you get an instruction with it, but there's no education on everything behind it.
Yeah.
What's in the ingredients, what it could do, what could go wrong. Do you know, like the consequences of it? Which I know it comes down to the brands that you're buying, but I don't know whether they'd do that or not, but that's why then it comes back to hairdresser. I've done this on my hair, but this has happened. Yeah. And it's all right, we could go in and fix it, but then you're adding then more chemicals to it, and you then don't know the result, what it's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's no different to someone that had bleach in their hair before, and then they decide to go dark for the winter, so they put a brown box dye all over it, and then they come to you and they go, yep, I want highlights again. And it's like, okay, well, what's your hair history? I've got brown box dye on. Okay. What was before that? Because I think that's sometimes what people forget. Yeah. What's before that?
It's what holds it up then, because if you had bleach underneath or like red or something, you're still blitting out that pigmentation.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you're I've tried to say like to a client before, I'm like, just because you've got brown over the bleach doesn't mean the bleach is gone.
No.
The brown's just
it's still
sitting on top of it. So then if you're going to then go back over with bleach, okay, yes, it's taking out the brown pigment, but you've got bleach sitting underneath
and also
as well.
Then it's like weakening it, because it's like it will go porous, but then you're getting the damage because you've got the bleach first, then the dark, and then you put the bleach on it again.
Yeah,
it's like a cycle, really, isn't it?
It is. But there are clients that don't understand this. They just think, oh, I've put brown all over my hair, now my hair's healthy. Yeah. It's not. No. The bleach is still there. It's just hidden underneath.
Go really, because until unless you like say you can let it grow out and then you cut it out, it's never going to disappear like that. And that's the cycle of it is. And it's like, it's a reminder, isn't it, in a way? But it's not enough out there of like, we can do it, but you've not got enough other people out there reminding. So, very difficult.
Exactly. It's a difficult one being a hairdresser sometimes, especially when we are people pleasers as well, and we want to please the client.
And you're like, I want to fix your hair, like I want to I don't know, make you feel nice again. I want you to love your hair again. But then you're like, but then also it's like you're then taking on that job that's been done but in not a bad way, but like not the right way.
Yeah.
So then it's like trying to correct it all, but then like, you know, if you don't get it to how you want it to look, you then feel bad, don't you? Thinking, no, I've got to remember it wasn't me that started it off like that. So but yeah, it can happen.
Yeah.
Thankfully I find I don't feel like it happens as much now.
No.
I find that it probably used to happen a fair bit, like back in the day a couple of years ago, probably especially after lockdown.
Yes.
A massive way, but like now I don't feel like it's as much as it used to, which is a good thing, because you don't, like you say, we just said we ideally don't want it to be like that. And I get it, like you said, like not everyone can afford everything. So I do hope with like how much cost things are with like the overall like general house things and like people having hair, nails and things done, that it doesn't make people go back to that way in a way. I know, like you say, it's a hard thing, you can't like adjust things or how it is, but it's just then sometimes I feel like they do all that and then end up paying out more anyway, because then they've got to come to a hairdresser and have it done.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
it's like a vicious circle.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself in the next few years?
So definitely I want to get to like, as in like more courses done. So I definitely want to get like some hair up, the curly blow dry and colouring courses done. Still self-employed. Yeah. Definitely still self-employed. And basically like, it's not like, it's really weird to say, because obviously, I was employed for 10 years, but in a way where it's like you have, like, I don't know if you have like a different clientele, but your clientele is different because you've gone from that like self-employed, and it changes because obviously you've got your old clientele, you've got new clientele, your clientele adapting. So realistic for me, it's not like you're starting over again, but you're starting in a bit of a different way.
Yeah.
So ideally for me, it's just like kind of, I say like more clientele, like kind of in a way where maybe, I don't know, I'm in a salon more. Maybe, I don't know, maybe give myself actually a day off in the week, a permanent day off in the week, so I know what I'm doing. Yeah. And still just really enjoying it, getting more knowledge, still, like I say, being where I am, but bigger and better. Yeah. I'd say whether maybe like doing a few different things, like having different things to offer. Hope that I've, like I say, done it. Like, I want to like try and get into like doing more weddings, because obviously I've done them in the past, but then like, because now I want to like develop more in hair up, is to like go more into that as well. Not as in like sidetrack how people say they just do wedding hair, definitely not. But do it when it comes to the time of years when it's on. Yeah.
That's all right, because I'm giving up wedding hair next year, so now I know who to recommend.
No, yeah, I know what you mean, 'cause it is such a big thing and it's having the time to do it. But I have done it for you a couple of years ago, and I feel like I haven't really done any. So like now I'm like, I'm doing one this year and I've got 2 next year. So it is starting to come, so actually I'm really excited, and that's why I want to get into it more. But yeah, really, it's a kind of just like being bigger and better, still being self-employed, still want to like, obviously I'm hoping in a couple of years time, maybe like move house. Obviously we're in like a 2-bed now at the moment, so like it would be a bigger house. And ideally, obviously, I'd like to stay in the area I'm at, but don't know if that'd happen. Yeah. But yeah, it's just mainly hairdressing wise is kind of just keep going with what it is, keep going with the times, sticking with what's happening, putting myself out there more, and still enjoying it.
No, good answer. Would that come into sort of like your goals as well? Like doing like the more courses and that sort of thing?
Definitely more. Yeah, I ideally want to try and do a few this year. I did think about the other ones last year because I'd only just started and like it was quite busy, and then Christmas came up and it's like fit everything in.
One step at a time.
No, and I thought, let's not push too much here. So no, definitely like I'm saying more courses, better and bigger, and obviously seeing where I am, like you don't know where time will take you, what will happen. I like the environment of mobile and salon, but whether that changes in a couple of years as well. Like obviously you can never hold out for everything, can you? Because time changes, things change. Yeah. Like I say, time is in the week with days off, that might adapt to come into it. But no, yeah, I feel like I set goals, but I set more for probably like in a year, and then I have like some like in a couple of years, like obviously in the year from like, let's say, being self-employed, like say, if it started like in the September system, I definitely want to do like 1 or 2 courses. Yeah. And then like I say, carry that on, even if it's 1 course a year, 2 course a year, going in time, and adapting to different things, doing different courses as well. So like colour, hair up, and then like I say, in a couple of years' time, see where we am if we're in a different house to where I'll be with things, and if it's salon, mobile, or I don't know, or not even any of them, and do something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do find it's good to have the goals to follow from, because I feel like if you're not, you're just working.
Yeah, you need something to work towards too.
Yeah, and I feel like that helps you then going forward. Because if not that you're going back, but you're just like at a moderate pace. I think like
plod along.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, if you do a course after doing that, you get excited. You're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to do that.
Yeah,
I can't wait to try that.
Yeah.
But I feel like at the moment anyway, I feel like even like with the hair up, because I felt like when I was on pod, I couldn't really just be like, watch videos, like, can I get content in? Because it's a bit different, you're working for someone. So like now recently, I've been watching like quite a lot of videos, seeing loads of different things and seeing different ideas. So I have been practicing quite a lot, and I've actually really enjoyed it. And I'm like, oh no, I feel like that's even an achievement, because like I never really got to do it before. It just because you've got hair up and you're doing that.
Yeah.
And not saying but there's nothing worse when someone comes in, they're like, do whatever, and I'm like, oh, no.
I don't know what to do.
No, because you don't. You're just like, I don't know.
Some people love that. Some people love when a client says, do whatever you want. And no, I get brain fart.
Yeah, and I do. And I'm like, well, I look at the hair and I'm like, right, I know I could do a couple of things, but I just don't know. And I like to have a picture to work from. Not that it's showing me what to do, but just like, right, okay, I want that. Yeah. And inspo is like a massive thing. So, no, and I have been practicing doing that on different people, short hair, long hair, moderate hair, like curly hair, straight hair.
Yeah.
So it's been nice to do that, because I just think it gets my confidence up with it, and trying things that are out there in the world now than back before. Like, it's definitely modernised, and it's definitely completely changed.
Oh, definitely.
So really, really enjoying doing that. And I definitely still want to do more of that as well. And like, you know, even if I do colour courses, it might be because, get some models in to do that. And it's a bit more like, because you're independent, you can choose to do it. Well, like, obviously when you're employed, you can't. You have to just, it's not stick by a book, but it is stick by following someone else's rules.
Yeah.
So I am looking forward to doing them, because I just feel like it puts you out there more, and you feel that you get an extra training just from after doing courses, because you get the training at the course, but then you've then still got to carry it on. So you need to follow it up by either doing it on your clients that you've got in, or if you don't feel like you've got them, you then find them and like practice on them.
Yeah.
So I do feel like it's good to have the goals. I do feel like to have like, at the moment it's probably like more little goals, but I feel like as time goes on, it will get bigger.
Is there anyone in the industry you'd like to meet or work with?
So I really want to, some of the customers want to go on as the people that are like quite big hairdressers. So one of them, I don't know if like you might have heard of him, is April Yardley. She's got she's got a hair salon in Stamford and in Bourne, and it's like at my lab.
Yes.
I just really love her work, and her courses just look amazing.
Are you going to put yourself onto one?
That's what I just seen one. She's doing one at the beginning of June, so I've just seen that, because basically I was really going to do one of hers. I've just gone self-employed, and I thought, I don't know if I should do it now or just wait a little bit. So I really love her work, how she does it, and she just makes everything seem seamless. Just like, and she goes like all over. She's like been Barcelona, America. So I know she's really popular. So they're difficult to get on, but you have to book on quick.
Yeah.
So her, and then the other one is Tia Lambourne.
That name rings
You've probably
a bell.
seen her. She's
I'm so useless with names.
I know, when I
put this question in, and then like someone will say a name, and I'm like, I can't think how it is.
No,
I need a face.
I have to get a face out. She, I don't know where her salon is, but she does courses all over, where she's just been like Chicago or something, and she's like got one in Derby coming up, and these are all basically balayages but lived in blondes or lived in bronze ones.
Yes.
So you know your ones where like you could do like mineral placements, so it's like could be like 12 foils, 10 foils.
Yes.
A lot of them are like that. So like she'd just done some ones recently that Tia did, and I had a client that kind of asked, and I showed her work, and basically then like re-emplaced it like by seeing like obviously kind of like saying, well, this is what she did, what do you think to that, and went with that. And it's more a case of like a lot of them do like wet balayages, which I've done a few, but I've not done loads of them. So they're like, to me, like I know they've been around for ages, but you have the client to do them on, and obviously if the client wants it, kind of thing. So I started to like implement them into obviously clients' hairs and stuff. So I watched them quite a lot. There's a few gents on there that I watch. One's like called, I think, Ryan James Hair. He's just opened up a new salon, or got a new salon. So I do follow quite a lot on Instagram. I do see a few on TikTok. I do really like them because it sounds weird. Like, you know how people say, like, when you do a job, do you sit there watching it? I'm thinking like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I literally sit there and I'll just be watching everyone's like this. I'm like, oh, that's really good. Or like,
Yeah.
it makes you like want to try it yourself or like get more like involved or a feeling. And like that's like with some of the colours, like I say, I've seen in the hair. It's like, oh, I really want to do that.
Yeah.
So not that I'd obviously like probably end up working with them in their salon, but I'd really like to meet them and like get to know some knowledge off them, get to do their courses.
Yeah.
Obviously, is it Sophie Habu? She's got, I think I definitely know stuff like Sophie. She's really big and she's...
Hilton?
Yes, it was
Yellow
her.
hair?
Yeah.
Sophie Hilton?
What's it with Boo? Is that a surname? I don't know why I thought a salon might be called a Boo or something, Sophie Boo or whatever. Do I've got that song unless I've seen it on her name or Instagram. I know
we've got the right person. Sophia Hilton, she's got bright yellow hair.
She's really big.
She's travelling at the minute.
Yeah, but
crazy colour ambassador.
Yeah, even I don't do like many crazy colours like that, but she's really popping, really big to look at, and like the inspiration she gives, and like I feel like she's just straight to the point.
Yes,
she'll just put things out there and just like kind of tell you how it is, and it's a brave thing to do because I feel like I'm like, oh, I couldn't do that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
but it's nice to see or like just you agree with it. So like that April Yardley, she'll do like things she'll do things like that, but a bit different. Like she did a post the other day, and it's just a bit like about realistic of like the costing of hair, and then like you lose clients and how the ones that stay and things like that. And in some of it, like,
do you know what? Now you just said that, I think I shared her post.
Yeah,
so maybe I'm sort of like figuring out who it is now.
Yeah, I bet if you'll look back and be like, oh yeah, I know. And it's nice to know that you're not on your own, and that like you with other hairdressers are feeling the same, or like they've got the idea. You know, sometimes you think, I don't want to put that out there. Someone does it, you're like, yeah, I'll just reshare that. Yeah. But no, like they're like, I definitely follow and look at a lot of April and Tia's work. Obviously Sophie, obviously when she puts things on and stuff like that, you know, you think, oh yeah, I agree with that, and that's right to the point. So April and Tia are definitely the most two. Definitely want to be doing their courses in the next year or two. So obviously, like I say, I won't ever probably work with them, but it's nice to be able to meet them on a course.
Yeah, well, exactly. Just meeting them on a course. And the thing is with those types of courses as well is, especially if it's like a masterclass or like a group course type of thing, you never know who you're going to meet amongst the other people that are going. I mean, I've been to a few classes now where, yes, okay, I might speak to the person that was like training, but actually I'm still in contact with the other people that I met on the day, and now it's like even just silly. I mean, some of the people that I met doing, you know, Holly, Rio
follow
hair.
Hers is really good.
So I've done 2 sort of like face-to-face classes with her.
What courses did you do of hers?
I did the blonding course. I think she's stopped doing that now. And then I did the social media course with her. Wow. So she's also my mentor now as well.
Oh, no way.
But I've met quite a few people through her from doing these classes. And now it's like some of those people want to be on the podcast.
Oh, that's amazing.
Or like we all want to like sort of like meet up and do something.
Get together.
Yeah, so you never know who you're going to meet until you're in those sorts of crowds of people.
It is, because then like you say, when you go on them, because I've been on course in the past when I worked at the salon, you like one or two of them I'd go on my own, and you'd get talking about, oh, where are you based, what do you do, like how long have you been doing it for? And it's nice to actually speak to people in the same position of you to see like how they feel or what they do, how they adapt to things. And obviously you might not see them again because depending on where you are, but then you always keep in touch on social media, like, oh yeah, they're doing that now, or they're there now. So it is nice. I have got quite a few on there from different courses, and then also I've got a few friends that do hairdressing and ones that I went to college with, and it's nice to still see that like what everyone's up to, and that like everyone's over at different stages or the same stage, and how everyone's getting along. I think it's good like that, because I think you want to like stick together, because it's like, say if like, I don't know, I need it, like you're on your own, like I'm kind of on my own but not on my own, because like when I'm in the salon, there's 3 other people that work in the salon, so you have them to talk to, but obviously when you're mobile it's a bit different. Or I don't know, you've just got a new client and you need something, like it's nice that you want to feel confident that you can go and ask other people, and that you stick together and not against each other, because I always see a lot now where it's like supporting other people's businesses, like it doesn't like harm yours, because why would it not? You want to like be with each other, because it's like, I don't know, like you said, you've got wedding people come up, oh yeah, I know someone else that's taking wedding on, you recommend it there. Yeah. All right, now I've got some aspect extensions that I recommend us coming to you. Do you know what I mean? Things like that. And you want to be able to be like that, because that's what you want the industry to be like.
I've also found as well that especially the freelance hairdressing, like I don't know if you're a part of something like the Facebook groups and all this sort of thing.
I'm in this one Facebook group, but I don't think it's freelance. I think it's literally just like for hairdressers, or like, do you know when like I don't know if they ask for like issue, I don't know, something with the hair kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
I'm in that one, and I'm in an extension one, but I didn't know there was a freelance
There's ones
one.
for freelance
I'll definitely join that.
hairdressers.
That's good to know.
And yeah, they're just, it's a really good sort of community because you're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
And because you've not got that other person in the salon to ask questions to or that sort of thing, it's nice to be able to have that other community to
and talk to them
about it. Yeah.
It's also like saying, I don't know, say if you would want to say, oh, like, what do you think I should do for this? Like, or this has happened to me today, like, what would you do, kind of thing. It's nice then to ask for someone else's point of view, or like, oh, they look at it like this way, but they look at it like that. And you're always going to get different opinions, and different people think like different to what you do. So I do think it's nice because, like, I know, like, I don't live like in this area, but I don't live too far, but it means then like, oh, could you message you, so and so don't live that far away, but so you could go to there, and it's nice to have that than just be like, oh, you're in another, I don't know, city kind of thing. But I've noticed it's more people there for each other more now in self-employment, but than what they are employed.
Yes.
I don't know why.
I mean, I've never been like fully employed by a salon, so I don't know what it is like, but from what I've sort of heard in the past and that sort of thing. I mean, there's always been like that sort of cliche, like salons are bitchy or sort of thing. I don't know how true it is.
No, like, I feel like as well it's the competition thing. Yeah. But then I think, well, not sound awful, but everyone's got competition in everything. You're going to have it in gyms. You're going to have it in like what Tesco Aldi kind of thing. Yeah. So it's like get used to it kind of thing with how it is. But I just think you're better off sticking together and like help each other out than being against each other, because you never know when you're going to need someone.
Yeah, exactly. There's another girl in the village. She literally lives like down the road, and she does hair extensions. She's done my hair a few times as well. And if I can't fit a client in, I'd be like, oh, but there's another girl in the village. Yeah. Like, we're not in competition with each other. We're like support, and she messages me like, I ran out of nano rings. Can I buy some nano rings from you? I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, and I think that's the nicest thing. I think that is the best thing really that I think has happened now, and I've noticed it more with freelance. Like, obviously employment's a bit different because you're just employed by a salon, so salon owners might be a bit different with each other, but when you're obviously employed, you just go into your work and then you kind of like leave. Yeah. And yeah, you can be like, oh yeah, they're employed at so and so you know where they're employed, but I feel like you don't really massively talk about work when you're not there for each other, like, oh, I'll send this client to you or that. You don't do that because then your owner wants to make sure they're getting the clients and not someone else. Where like with freelance, I've definitely noticed how different it is. Yeah. I feel like you are more of a community, which is nice than having it where like you're against each other. Yeah. Yeah. But no, I definitely look for that Facebook group because it's always nice to be in them because then like you see different things and what's going on.
Some links.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so for anyone just starting out in hairdressing, what's a piece of advice that you would give to them?
So I would definitely say like stick with it, enjoy what you're doing, and definitely get like the most knowledge you can out of it, because I know at the start you're obviously either an apprentice or you're just very learning, and it can be very tough. And you then, if you're, especially majority are going to be employed because you're going to be at a salon, when you're seeing everyone else working and you're just doing little bits and bobs, like I said, it can make you feel a bit deflated because you're not doing much and you just want to get your hands in.
I imagine like it's daunting as well.
Yeah, because it's scary thinking you're just going to be left eventually to just do that one person's hair with like colouring or cutting. And I just think you've got to stick with it, because actually when you are at that point where you can do it, it's the best thing, because then you're literally like, oh my God, it's so exciting. You're then constantly doing it. And I just think get the most practice in you can with family and friends. Like, obviously, if you come to the salon, do it there. If not, do it at home. Even if it's just blow drying or shampooing someone's hair, you're still then getting your knowledge up, and you're still then putting like your aspect to it of what you want to do and how you want it to be. But I think at the start, when you're starting out, you've got to stick with it. Make sure that you're fully in with it, and that you're not just think, oh, it's easy, I'm just going to go into that. It's not. It's not easy.
No, it's not. And it actually pisses me off when people say, oh, hairdressing, it's easy.
No, it's not. I think it's a skill, and that's what people need to realise. Actually, it's not just quicker cut someone's hair. No, I remember when it was like lockdown, people say to me, like, do you cut your own hair? I'm like, no. I know my hair's just like long and one length, but thinking, I still probably have like this might be up here and this might be there. So I was like, no. And I was like, people do it, and I know people like done gents' hairs in lockdown and stuff, but it's a skill that is a lot of years put into and like hard work, and that you have to take your time. So my thing is to stick with it, enjoy it, make the most of it, because then obviously as time goes on, you will then find obviously where like your heart is with it. And also I think you'll realise what it's all about.
Yeah.
Where at the start, yes, you see it, but you're not doing it.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously, as you'll know, hairdressing is more of a doing job than actually sitting there seeing it. You can obviously, if you're an owner, you overlook it kind of a lot, but even if I was an owner, I think I'd have to get my hands in.
Oh,
I
God,
couldn't
yeah.
just be like, oh, I'm not doing it. Like, I'd hate it. See, I want someone to wash someone's hair. I want to give them a nice blow dry.
Yeah.
Like, I want that feeling. So when you have that feeling yourself, then you know what someone else is feeling like when they're having it done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would be like what I would say to someone. I think you are better being in a salon, just because I think you need the experience of knowing how a salon works, how you gain experience, how you gain the knowledge. So then, like, down the line, you then could obviously go off and do what you want and take it with you. Because obviously, as you have been doing it for so long, you do build it up.
Yeah.
And I said, obviously, I started at a salon, so I did 2-year apprenticeship there. Then I obviously was there for another year doing a barbering. So all in all, at the start, I was there for 3.5 years. Then I went to another salon for, I think, about a year. And then I was at the last salon for 10 years. So yes, I've been at 3 salons, but I learnt different at every single salon.
Yeah.
And at the last salon, at the very start, yes, I had like a slow build of clientele because I'd just gone from... So basically, I started off at Loughborough, then went to Birstall, then stayed in Birstall. So from the first one in Birstall, a few came, and then really it was a case then of like building up from there. But it was really, you learn different on all of them because every hairdresser that you work with is going to be different.
Oh, completely.
So I do find that even still from when I started the salon in Birstall, last I was there for 10 years, at the very start, I learned like a lot from that.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, like you'd see how the other hairdressers worked, and like you'd learn new techniques, new ways of doing stuff, but then you'd adapt to yourself.
Yeah.
So then like now I found my way of doing things that like I might say to someone, oh, actually I'd do it this way, or like do this, but then they'll change it to their own way.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, obviously, like say me and you, we'd probably work different, but then you'd probably tell someone to do that and I'd tell them to do that, and then they choose how to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I definitely think hairdressing is still such a big thing. I do find now, I feel that for the last couple of years, not many people are choosing to do it. Like, when you speak to people, like, when I used to work at the other one, college-wise, I don't know whether it's a thing of that it's not being advertised enough, or things are changing.
I know that apprenticeships are going down in hairdressing. Well, not just in hairdressing, just apprenticeships overall, which is a real big shame because, I mean, I did do a hairdressing apprenticeship. I mean, I did hairdressing as an adult learner because I went from one job to another. So, whereas had I started out like from a younger age, I mean, obviously in my 30s, I can't go and do an apprenticeship. The money is not going to cover it.
No.
But had I got into hairdressing earlier, it would have been nice to have the apprenticeship and to get the salon experience. I mean, as an adult learner and just going self-employed and being a freelance hairdresser straight away, it's been hard.
Yeah.
Because it's like, shit,
Yeah,
I've got to get my shit together.
Yeah.
I need to learn this. So I did all sorts of courses.
Oh,
I've done a
wow.
lot of like self-training and all this sort of thing. Luckily, it's worked out.
You have to give yourself the time, don't you?
Yeah. But no, I do know that apprenticeships, not as many salons are able to offer them because they can't afford to. And from the looks of things, there's not enough funding going into them. So the rates are just plummeting.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like,
I think it's a real shame.
Yeah, it is. Because
you're always going to need them because, like, it sounds awful, but like, as stylists get older or something, or if they have, like you say, have children, you do less days.
Yeah.
But then, like, if you're in a big salon, you're always going to need the help of the work of apprentice being around to be like, right, I'll shampoo, I'll make that drink. And also then to become a hairdresser to carry on after when people leave or move on.
Yeah.
Because then also the hardest thing is people move on, you're then also then looking for the stylist to take like a place. So it is a shame because I feel like when I did it back in the day, it was really big and you had a lot of people doing it.
Yeah.
And even like I say, a couple of years after, it was still quite big. But I do feel like in the last 2 years, I'd probably say.
Yeah.
I don't know whether more or not, but last 2 years definitely has like changed a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
But obviously how it ends up being now, doesn't it?
No, well, everything that goes on in the world now, we just have absolutely no idea. To finish off with, is there anything, hair related or not, that you'd like to overshare? This is like a put you on the spot type of question.
I'm like, I don't know really.
Bearing in mind, my first guest spoke about having a hairy poo.
Right, okay, that's a very
It can be
oh,
as little, as big, as whatever.
I don't know. I'm going to New York at the end of May, so I'm very excited for that. And this is really quite funny. My friends are a lot of people will laugh. I've been with my partner for 10 years, so I'm hoping something might happen.
Did you hear that?
10 years in the making of the waiting, and I'm just like, it's been a long time. But like people say, I think what's funny is a lot of people say like, oh, do you think you'll propose? I'm like, do you know what I said? I've been open for the last 2 years and everyone's been going on about it for the last 2 years. So I was like, I'm not getting my hopes up anymore. So do you know what? I'm going with the flow. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, there's another time has gone.
I mean, do you think there could be a chance?
Oh, we obviously, like you say, it gets spoken about. We spoke about it for a while and everything. And he, weirdly enough, though, he always said he proposed at 10 years. And I'm like, no, I wanted to get married at like at least 10 years. So I was like, different paths there, but you know.
We're going off track. It's not in the calendar.
I was about to say, 10 years this year, mate. So you've literally got from at the very end of April to December. So it sounds really weird. I'm not holding my breath for it, but obviously, like, New York will be amazing. We've both never been, and it's not done it for that, but we've wanted to go for so long. But the last couple of years, we've had like weddings, hen do's, stag do's, big birthdays, and obviously they all cost so much money.
Yeah.
And it's never really like, it's always been in the back of the mind, but we never really kind of put that first. I've always really wanted to go at Christmas time. Mm-hmm. But then, like, when people get talking, like, obviously the weather, it's quite cold, windy, snowy, and you get a different...
It's not as magical as what people make out as
have
well,
you been?
Apparently. No, but my mum and dad went at Christmas.
I know,
and they were expecting the full, like, sort of Home Alone sort of thing.
Yeah, and I
mean, this was a few years after, and they were like, it's just not what they make it out to be.
And I do think, like, because you see at Christmas, like, got the Rockefeller tree and the ice skating, it'd be magical, but then... how much would you enjoy if the weather's really bad and you want to walk everywhere and experience it? So, we'll talk at the beginning of like this year, and my mum even just said, like, why don't you go in May? And I was like, 'cause my partner's a school teacher, so I have to go on school holidays. Very frustrating. Yeah. And also I don't want to go in summer because I know it'd be red hot. Yeah. And that's, it's bad enough
uncomfortable,
as it is.
Like, walking around then.
And not so uncomfortable, but this was in February time and Easter was just too close. So I was just like, yeah, okay. So obviously that's what we're doing. But, people are like, oh, like, who's booked it? I was like, no, we've booked it together. It's just that, like, we wanted to go for so long, and finally we've been able to, like, come around and actually go. So I'm really looking forward to that. So it's not really, like, anything really interested to overshare, but, you know,
it could be an overshare. Come May, though.
So, that would be nice. Obviously, it'd be amazing if it happened, because obviously, like...
But is he that kind of person? Like, is he the sort of extravagant type?
I know he wouldn't like sound anything like. I'll be honest, I wouldn't like it in a really public place. Yeah. I'll be honest. I just think, like, I don't know. It's just a bit weird. Get up! I know. And you're like, right, okay, where would there be a scene like New York City? But I don't know. Like, obviously, it's sort of like long time coming kind of thing, as people would say, like 10 years. But I feel like it's hard to like. You get people get engaged a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, past that. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone's timeline is different.
And some people aren't bothered as much. And I've always said about, like, I wanted to, like, get married kind of thing and obviously have a wedding. So really it was just a case of, like, when's going to happen? I know he'd always said that years ago. I thought, no, do it before. And I think, like, because people have said him, like, before, no, it's going to happen soon. And this was 2 years ago. I was like, you just strung me along or what? Like, how many people said this? And I do think, like, back then he used to get a lot of people going to him, like, family, friends, even neighbours, and I thought, God, I think people have put him off now because it's gone on that much. So,
too much pressure.
Yeah. Obviously, if it happened, it'd be great. Obviously, if it doesn't, I just enjoy New York because New York,
it's going to be a magical trip anyway.
Yeah. So not really like oversharing like as much as the other one, but you know, I was like, trying to think like, what can I overshare that's like that? But I don't feel like I've experienced that. But then again, it depends on how much you are talking in that way.
Watch the first episode, you'll know exactly what I'm on about.
God, I've definitely seen it, but I maybe like thought first. I don't think
it was right at the very end.
Yeah, you know, you just think like, oh my God, like I like say when you start going into something. Because I know sometimes I've watched stuff and I'm like, how are they talking about that on a podcast? But then people just do, don't they?
Yeah,
and that's a fascinating thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm sure you'll soon see about it. If not, if anything happens. So yeah,
we'll be keeping a lookout.
I know, definitely.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Having me on. It's been amazing. I've really enjoyed it.
Good, because I know you're a bit nervous.
Yeah, never done a podcast or anything like it before. Obviously, when you go on like courses and things, you meet new people and you get talking, but then it's like, you know, it's not being recorded.
Yeah.
But no, I've really enjoyed it. I feel like it's made me step out of my comfort zone. And I feel like being self-employed in a way has made me do more things like that, because I just think, why not put yourself out there? Like, at the end of the day, like, you've got to do that with social media and everything anyway. But no, when I seen you look for it, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to comment and say, no, I will. Because you don't know, I don't think there's anyone else that does it. So, and you know, when it's like our industry that we know about, we talk about, I think it's the most easiest, best thing to talk about going, where if I got put in, I don't know, think about talking about something else, I'd be like, I don't know what to say.
Well, I think there are some other hair podcasts, but they're more about like the techniques that involved in hairdressing and that sort of thing.
I think that's more, which I get, like, this is for like hairdressers and clients and people we know, where that'd be like more, I don't know, for hairdressers, where I think this is nicer because anyone can listen to it.
Yeah, this is just your general chit chat, just between two hairdressers, and just sort of getting to know how different hairdressers, like, we've all come from different backgrounds, we've all started in different ways. Yeah. And I don't want it to be about like the techniques, because there's so much education out there. Yeah, we don't need a podcast for it as well.
And also, like, you could do one thing, I could do another. It's just like you say, it's all so different. But no, I do think, no, I'm really glad I've done it, and like, I felt so comfortable. Like, I'd tell everyone to like come on and do it, because it's nice to like chit chat with other people, because then you get to just have conversation, and also then, I don't know, other people will enjoy it in different ways, and you'll have different conversations and podcasts on every single different person. Yes. So that's the like best thing I think about it. So no, I've really enjoyed it.
Oh, good. I'm glad. No, thank you very much.
Thank you.